time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
Feel, don't think.
Fear is my ally.
The Force will be with you.
We are encouraged to love.
Be mindful of your thoughts.
I will not betray the Republic.
Hey, your worship, I'm only trying to help.
Scruffy-looking nerf herder.
I'm not afraid.
You must unlearn what you have learned.
So the purpose of having this verse here is to describe the problems that I think people have with episode 7 of The Acolyte. First off, Leslie Headland decided to make the main Jedi Master the bad guy who kills everybody, which is not what Jedi do. Okay, it is literally the last thing you'd ever think of. This is beyond bad writing. It is a statement. Look at the Bible verse. It's Isaiah 5:20. Woe to them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness. And this is what we've got. This Lego-headed weirdo basically demanding us to think that the Jedi were the real bad guys. And this has been a feeling in the undercurrent of really bad Star Wars fandom for a while. I mean, there's a group of Star Wars fans that actually think that. They got caught up in the glamour of who and what the Sith were. Okay, I mean, and when you think about it, it's nihilistic. They don't believe in anything. They have no moral compass. You're looking at a woman who probably procured men for Harvey Weinstein. So let's look at the Jedi. The only Jedi here that I think could be talked about are Anakin being naive and Mace Windu being afraid and being jealous. All right, the Jedi that stands out as what they are supposed to be is Obi-Wan Kenobi. He does his duty. Anakin was not allowed to really have a moment of clarity about his mother. And he formed attachments too easily. There was no one there to counsel him. It wasn't that he was a bad person. Okay, no child is born evil, right? How did this happen? He didn't have a father figure. Palpatine saw that and ran with it. He knew Anakin was the chosen one. He had Master Yoda, Grand Master of the Jedi Council, most powerful Jedi of the era. Don't really see him doing anything bad. Maybe making poor decisions about getting caught up in the Clone Wars, but he was evil? Really? Okay, Leslie, explain Qui-Gon Jinn, who decided not to be part of the Jedi Council because he thought they were too complacent and forgot who they were. They became too, I guess complacent is a good word. Qui-Gon did what he wanted. He was a Jedi Master. And when he saw Anakin, he decided that he had to be trained. And his heart was always in the correct place. Obi-Wan Kenobi never veered away from the way. Okay. Never did anything evil. He didn't understand Anakin in lots of ways. And that was his weakness. They were more brothers than they were master and apprentice. Anakin, again, needed a strong father figure. And that there was a vacuum there because Obi-Wan wasn't grounded enough at the time Palpatine took over.
At an end, your rule is. And not short enough it was.
You were right. You were right about me. Always remember, your focus determines your reality.
I thought one just drew a pentagram on the floor and chanted, I summon thee 3 times.
No, stop. Not one more crooked word. Your tongue could open a wine bottle.
She never had an agent. It's not like she worships the devil.
Well, she doesn't have to. He worships her.
So it basically paints this guy as a bad guy too, because nothing he could do, even to the point where he risks himself and is ready to sacrifice himself to save his father, means anything to Leslie Headland and the rest of this garbage, because the Jedi are bad guys. They have the Earth is flat, up is down, down is up. Good is evil, evil is good. Light is dark, dark is light. There you go. And that is what this whole message is in this show. And again, like I've said, there are fans that actually really think that, because the actual lore, the canon, does say that the actual Sith species was exterminated, but they were causing so much chaos. You know, and you can look at it in this way too. You know, if you hadn't behaved like that, that wouldn't have happened. But there's another thing here. These are people who can't take responsibility for their own behavior. So they turn around and blame other people. It's like, if you remember the scene where that the doctor, what's his face, is being held by the Imperial pilot, and he started defending the Death Star and saying billions of people were killed on the Death Star, or millions, and ignoring the fact that, you know, billions were murdered when the Death Star blew up Alderaan, and Gina Carano shot him. She killed him. Okay, that's the moral equivalency. It's like a Nazi saying to an American pilot, millions of Germans were killed when you did that to Dresden, completely ignoring the 20 million that were killed in Eastern Europe because of Hitler's aggression. You know, look, it's the kind of thing where the bully can throw a punch, you throw the punch back, the bully will rationalize and have some moral equivalency. Okay, that's the problem I have. Okay, the fact of the matter is, this is so amoral and nihilistic of her to put this in there, and it goes so much against what George thought about it when you hear him talk about it. But because he's a man, and he put Carrie Fisher in a metal bikini, and Leslie Headland would make the entire world vomit if anybody saw her in something like that, and probably kill themselves. Women feeling good about their bodies, feeling good about themselves, feeling sexy, and wanting men's attention is a grave sin to these women because they're so afraid of it. And a good man is often not a non-violent man. Do you understand? And that's the thing they cannot handle. The Jedi were the peacekeepers, but they also could be very ruthless when they had to be in order to do their job. Okay? And what in the end, if you're looking at the lore, Headland is advocating is imbalance of the Force. I'm sure if we get Aboleth somewhere down the line, she'll be wearing an Aboleth t-shirt and doing her hair gray. Okay. I'm not kidding. That's what's going to happen. Meanwhile, Kathleen Kennedy allowed this to happen. She hired this thing, saying how much she loved her Star Wars scripts, and then said, why don't you do one about Leslie Headland? And this is what we've got. We've got, all right, and this is me, a theory, this is me theorizing, a woman whose family was probably Catholic, okay, probably very, very devout. She's got a sister she doesn't talk to, obviously, probably because the sister doesn't want her anywhere near her kids. Okay, and there's the problem. This isn't about when you hear people say the Jedi were evil, like Anakin did stupidly. They are people talking about their families. They're talking about their own experiences with what they consider the establishment. And it has nothing to do with what we love about Star Wars. And Kathleen Kennedy let this happen. Okay, this is episode 7. Guess what? If you thought Luke Skywalker was a hero, Anakin, Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon Jinn, you're really a Nazi to Leslie Headland. Think about it. Do you still want to watch this garbage? Fire Kathleen Kennedy, get her the hell out of there, and cancel all this shit. This is Steph signing out. See you around the galaxy.